Hi, my name is Rex Beanland. When you're painting the urban landscape, one thing you have to learn to deal with is cars or vehicles. Now they're a really neat shape. People like to look at them. They certainly symbolize the cityscape. But if you've ever tried to draw them accurately, that may have been quite a challenge. So I've kind of devised a simplified way of both drawing cars and painting cars. And that's the subject of this short little video clip. Okay. Let's take a look at a way to draw cars. And this is a car when we're looking straight at it, whether we're looking at the front or the back, but it's coming, we're looking directly at it. So the first thing is I draw a square, and larger is probably easier to do than small when it comes to painting it. And if I come down somewhere about 1/3 and make a line across, and then cut that off at an angle, this is the windshield. And then if I take this angle and extend it out, the body is usually thicker than the windshield. So I come out, extend it out like this. And to put tires on the car, some people put them places like that, and it's wrong, and it looks really amateurish. So the tires are at least as wide as the car, if not a bit wider. The tires are always dark. And most importantly, under a car, even if it's overcast, there's always a shadow or a shadow underneath. And then we'd have either headlights or tail lights like that. And I'm just going to erase these lines so we can get a better point of view. And that is a perfectly functional car. And you can play with the proportion because cars are a little bit different, but that will get you a pretty simple shape for a car. The second way that we're going to meet cars on the street is when we're seeing them from the side. And it's just a minor variation on seeing them from the front. So first I'm going to start off with my square, like this. Come down about 1/3, something like that, for the windshield. But the first change is when we're seeing it from the side, the two sides of the windshield are not identical. So this one is at that angle, this one might be at an angle something like that. Then it sticks out here. And the other thing is the roof now comes back, down, and at a bit of an angle like that. When we see a car from the side, we're going to end up seeing at least 3 tires. One right at the back there, and one somewhere like there. And probably we would actually see one back here. And again, most important always is to have that shadow underneath. And the headlights would be here. I'm just going to take a second to erase the lines. Okay, so that's a pretty good car from the side. Now let's take a look at painting these vehicles. And the first one, I want to go with a light windshield. So if I do this, the method I favor is doing an underpainting, put a light wash in there, and then, play with some other colors or values in particular. Something like this. It might read as if you're actually seeing people in the car. So that's the light windshield. The body I almost always do the same way. And I take generally a really dark value. It's really fun to play with some intense colors. But whether you're looking at the front of the car or the back of the car, right here there's a plane, either the hood or the trunk, that tends to be coming straight towards you, and that will catch the light differently than the rest of the back or front. The point is to leave a dark or a light strip there for the part where the sun's catching it. And then we can do, something like this. A nice chance to take some almost pure purple pigment, throw it in there, let it mix around. Then almost always I use my black, in this case neutral tint, to do the tires. Often there's It's dark under the body, and you actually may see bits of stuff hanging down there. And then the last thing, always a shadow connecting those wheels. So that's actually I love it, very nice car. I prefer having cars that are going away from me because I prefer red to white. But what I do is I take virtually straight, this is cadmium red light, can take it right out of the tube, put it there, and put it there, and even without running it even looks better. If I want to, and I'll maybe demonstrate it later, if I just replace that with white gouache, then the car is coming towards me. As I mentioned, really like the granulation and everything that's happening there. Normally the windshields are dark, so I will do this one dark. And vary the color, why not? And then the body, I'll just stay with the same colors, some ultramarine. Just leave that space for the light hitting. And I like that purple so much, this is straight out of the well on the palette. Some neutral tint, and I'm going to get the tire, maybe put a little bit more stuff down there. And most importantly, the shadow underneath. And then this one, I'll have it coming towards us. So I'm taking here some Chinese white, straight from the tube. It's not quite acting the same way, so we'll really blob it on there. Love it. Just want to show a really neat way to use either white gouache or Chinese white. Now I find if I do this, if I put the white in too early, it just mushes around. So what I'll do is I'll actually fill the body in. So I'm taking some neutral tint, add some neutral tint down there, some stuff hanging down. And then, yes, so that's even nicer, little dry brush there. Now I'm going to take my white gouache, I hope that windshield's just about right, and I'll put some in there. I'm hoping. Now my board is not tilted because I would like it to run down, so I'm just going to tilt it a little bit, throw a little bit more in there. And anyway, you can see the effect. It can really give the sense of sunlight coming through the dark windshield. So now the last one I want to look at is the car from the side. Give it a windshield. The body is done the same way. Again, leaving that highlight area. But what I do is I stop where the front of the car meets the side. Nice rich cobalt blue. I like the side of the car, or either the side or the front, in this case the side of the car, to be a different value and a different look than the front. What I find is very effective is to take just pure water and bleed the front into the side. Now I need that to dry because when I put the tires in there, I don't want them to run too much. So I'll put the front tire in, and this one, it's a little bit wet. So I've just dried this off, more or less. Now, and when you're looking from the side and you're looking into the wheel well, you don't see as much of the tire as you do at the bottom. The back tire is right even with the back of the car, and we do that. And then, you know, any details you can put in to taste. Unfortunately, as much as I'd like to put red on there, it looks like it's coming towards me, so I'll put white on it. I will put red. Oh, nice juicy blob of red. Okay, so that's a short study of cars, and you can really see it is quite easy. It helped me at first to use that square method to get something that is a shape that reads as a car. After you've done that a couple of times, you don't need it, and you just get an idea of the proportion. You can draw them as I did with all of these. But they're just a really neat shape, and when they're easy like this, why not put them in? People love them. I love them. Okay, so that's my story with regard to cars, and I'm sticking to it. And I hope you've gotten something out of that. They really are a fun element to add to your painting, so I hope that you will give them a shot. Thank you. Take care.